Hello, today we are going to start a tumble for Blue Tiger's Eye, also known as Hawk's Eye. We recently got a box full of this stuff from Gem Center. With the Blue Tiger's Eye, well, any type of tiger's eye, it actually has asbestos, so it is important to kind of be careful with it when you're dealing with it, because you don't want mesothelioma and all that fun stuff. This video is going to follow the Hawk's Eye through the entire tumbling process. It should take about 4+ weeks to get down to nice shiny stones. So making sure to kind of show you how it all starts out, kind of gravel looking. We have a 3-pound tumbler. We're just going to get it loaded up. When you start a tumble, you want to fill about 2/3 of the way full. It's going to have the most notable difference in the first round of tumbling. So, for this first week, it's going to get some 60 grit silicone carbide. And we'll put 2 tablespoons per pound of rock, which we have a 3-pound tumble drum. And then after that, we will just get enough water in there to cover our stones. Again in about a week. Hello. So we are now through the first week of the Blue Tiger's Eye tumble. So we'll go ahead and dump this out, see how we did. It's been sitting outside for a little bit, so it kind of gets stuck in the bottom there. I'll have to clean that out. And again, with the tumbles, it's always important to make sure you clean that out completely, because you don't want any of the grit or particles from the stage 1 to contaminate it on stage 2 or any subsequent stages of the tumble. The stones won't polish quite as well. And the first week of tumbling is when you'll see the biggest difference in the stones. If you remember seeing them, well, for you it was just a couple minutes, maybe a couple seconds ago, they were pretty rough looking, whereas right now you can start to see some of that tiger's eye effect going on. And that'll just get more fine-tuned as the tumbling process continues. Blue Tiger's Eye is one of my favorite stones, so I'm really looking forward to these being done, but we still have another 3 weeks for that. Neat coloration with that. But we will stick these back into the container. And next up, we will put the grit in it, put the water in there, and let it go for another week. Okay, we are back in the basement. Tiger's Eye, it is now at stage 2. So I will find my stage 2. And we will be putting 2 tablespoons per pound of rock. So this will get 6. I can open it without dumping. Now the way that we have our grits, we have a different container for each one, obviously, so that we aren't mixing everything together, but we also, each one has its own tablespoon. If you're starting to tumble rocks, we strongly recommend either getting separate tablespoons or making sure that you clean them really well before you switch what grit you're using with it. That way you're not accidentally putting your coarse grit in with your polish. Now for the second step of polishing, it is a 180-220 grit. Get that packed down in there, and we will fill it to the top of the rocks with some more water. Get the air bubbles out. Take off the label from last week. Get some of the water off here so my label will fit for this week. If you hear any weird clanks or anything, it's our cat. He's exploring the basement. It's uncharted territory for the cat. There's probably a demon down here. Okay, and then we will get the Blue Tiger's Eye spinning. We'll see it in a week. Okay, so here we are with our Tiger's Eye at the end of the stage 2. See how we did. Dumped out. It's all kinds of messy. So here's how the stones look when they are wet. Whenever stones are wet, they will always look shiny, obviously. So that water's kind of filling in those small gaps. I handed one piece off to our cameraman. He was nice enough to dry it off on his shirt for me, which I just got more water on it. But that's kind of how it looks when they're dried. So these guys still have to go in for their stage 3 and stage 4 polishes. We'll get that going here in just a few minutes. So we are back down in the creepy basement, and we are going to get our Blue Tiger's Eye onto stage 3 of polishing. When we do tumbles on stage 3 and 4, we use a different canister. I'll just go with canister. That way we're not cross-contaminating between the where we're knocking actual bits off the rocks and the polish. And we are going on to stage 3. So we'll be putting in 1 tablespoon of the 500 grit per pound of rock, and we're just going to assume again that there are 3 pounds of rock in there. And we will fill it to the top of the rocks with some water. And as always it's important to make sure that you have your lid fully seated on here to prevent some leaks. And as always, we will label this so we remember what we have in here when we go to open it next week. We'll see this at the end of the stage 3. Alright, so we are done with our stage 3 of the Tiger's Eye. Rawr. Rawr.
Wow.
Very easily entertained today. See how we did with this. And it is looking beautiful. Before we started getting into lapidary work, I didn't know that there was such a thing as blue tiger's eye, and in my opinion, it is so much prettier than the regular grade of tiger's eye that you usually see in the store that's more of a yellow. Not that it's not pretty too, but love the blue tiger's eye. Try just doing one. I can kind of see how that shifts in there. It's just like regular tiger's eye, except for it's blue. Beautiful, beautiful. But whenever you're messing with rocks, they always look a lot shinier when they're wet. I just dried this one off thanks to my trusty flannel. If we were to stop, that's how it would look after that water evaporates off of there. By going to stage 4, hopefully we can get it to look more like that. So we will get started on stage 4 next. Alright, so we are back down in the creepy basement. We're going to get the tiger's eye ready for stage 3. I'm going to go ahead and put some ceramic media in there, just because our rock level has gotten so low. The ceramic, the purpose of it is just to kind of act as a space filler. A little bit more even tumbling with it. Oh, we got a shiny stuck in here. Take that out. And the ceramic media we have, this is how it looks when it's new. These are some that we've used before, and we can keep reusing it. So. Okay. And I need to find my stage 4 final polish. Now with this, we put 1.5 tablespoons per pound. Again, we're going to continue assuming that there are 3 pounds in there, which would give us 4.5 tablespoons. There's probably someone that's going to be watching this video that is screaming at me for wasting the grit, because I'm not weighing my stuff, and that's okay. I'd rather have too much than too little. And then, as per usual, I'll fill this up to the top of everything with some water. Take off the old label. New label. Okay, see how this does in about a week. So we have reached the end of our month-long journey with our blue tiger's eye. I'm going to do our final rinse out of it for the stage 4. We'll see how we ended up. While he's showing that one, I'm gonna be over here getting one dried off, just so you can see it see how it looks when it's dry. Beautiful. I'll probably go ahead and run this for just a little bit for burnishing. So that doesn't take too long. We'll see you in the basement. So, we're going to go ahead and burnish our Blue Tiger's Eye. This is very highly specialized stuff that we use to burnish with. Very difficult to find, but we were able to find it. That's just ivory soap. And then I had taken a cheese grater to it. Just plain old ivory soap. You don't want anything that has any additional additives to it. Now for this, we'll be putting in 2 tablespoons per pound of rock, but don't have to be too technical with it. I'll just put in, not too worried about wasting this or not putting enough in. And another good thing about doing this, it gets the tumble canister very nice and clean when it's done. It will be foamy as heck though. Get this all sealed up, and we'll just need to do this for about an hour or two. I'll let it run for about 2 hours. My washer on there. Not too worried about relabeling it because I know what it is, and we'll see it again in a couple hours. Alright, next time you see it, it'll be done. We've had our tiger's eye going for about 2 hours with that ivory soap mix. We're gonna rinse it out one last time. We're going to just let these sit out in the sun for a little bit, and we will leave you with a still shot of them after they are dried. We hope you enjoyed this video. And please subscribe to our channel to see additional tumbles and other things we do with different rocks. Thanks!